let's get analysis from Ashok Swain, who joins me from Uppsala, Sweden. He's a professor of peace and conflict research at Uppsala University. Professor, thanks so much for joining us this news hour.
My pleasure.
It does feel like these warnings from Oxfam are nothing new. The rich get richer, more people sink into poverty, especially after 2 years of a pandemic and now the war in Ukraine. Is anything really going to change after Davos?
To say clearly that yes, it is right that the rich people are getting richer, and as you said, the COVID has made them much richer than before. There are several people, at least the 10 billionaires, the top 10 billionaires in the world, their income has doubled, where the 99% of the world's population's economy or income has gone down. And particularly this situation is also becoming severe in the developed countries. It used to be a problem in the developing countries, but the developed countries, America's situation is quite terrible. In the economic redistribution, that's not working, and that has become worse in the last few years. The 10% of OECD country population, the rich population, which is actually earning their income has doubled, the top 10, and while the poorest 10% have really suffered. So it's getting really that kind of difference. But yes, whether we should expect something really happening at the Davos, it has not happened. It will not happen. It's getting much worse, rather, because it's getting much worse due to the, as what your report was saying, because the food crisis, food prices has come up quite heavily.
Ashok, there are concerns of social uprisings because of food, climate, economic insecurity. Do you think that's possibly something that we could see happening in the future or even over the next few months?
See, the income inequality, particularly in as I was mentioning, in the developed industrialized democracy, and also in the developing countries, Asia, Africa, Middle East, you name it, and also in Europe, that has become a problem of this. And this is getting into an issue of how the countries are going to address this. Because the poor, we have seen what has happened in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is just a warning. I mean, there are many countries those who were suffering quite heavily. 100 million people are affected because of the conflict-related food crisis and the climate change, and the ongoing war in Ukraine have made it much more difficult now. And I think we are, I mean, when the food crisis has come or the people do not have food on their table, of course, we have seen number of unrest happening in different parts of the world. I mean, many protests, many unrest, even the populism coming in, the right-wing populism coming in. So I think it's fair to assume that it's quite easily we can assume the fact that the world is expecting a lot of internal political disturbances, if not violent conflict, or for the food crisis immediately.
Ashok, is part of the solution as simple as taxing the rich more, or is it more of a case of governments actually using those taxes, even if they are increased, using those taxes properly in order to help people?
I think it is more of how this needs a very comprehensive approach. You just cannot only tax the rich and you will make the crisis go away. I mean, this, as I said, this is a comprehensive approach, means you need to have a policy which needs to take the countries together, all the people together. And that is not happening. The most of the countries, and particularly the way the present non-democratic aspiration have come up. So it's mostly the people, those who are the rich, those who are the powerful, they are getting the benefit. That's why I mean, it happens in all kinds of disaster scenario. But I think this is where it is the policies are not exactly taking everybody in the country into considerations, rather putting focus on getting those kind of some of the people getting richer. That's what is happening. And that happens in a society when it becomes non-democratic, when it can be addressed in that sense.
Ashok, I'm so sorry to have to cut you off, but we are going to have to leave it there.